found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
This One's Wife, back to acting. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Back to acting. There's a return to acting on the horizon for This One's Wife. Well, naturally, those of you who are well versed in the fact that she's a narcissist will know that she's not stopped acting for many years. Formally, she has done so. She hasn't undertaken any professional acting for some time, but she acts on a regular basis because narcissists are actors. Narcissists present to other people, both in terms of a one-on-one and in some instances whereby you have a narcissist that operates a facade, a particular image. This image is generated by the narcissism, which determines that this is the most appropriate thing to do in order to get to the prime aims. Thus, in some instances, it causes the narcissist to appear compassionate, because that would be the best way to control someone and receive fuel from them. In other instances, it's a portrayal of a bombastic individual, confident, arrogant, but it draws the appropriate responses. In some instances, it's through a pity play, appearing vulnerable and insecure. This is why many narcissists end up in the field of acting, because 1, it's second nature to them, and 2, the entertainment field, as I've explained to you before, is one which is brilliant for the prime aims, and therefore is a natural honeypot for the narcissist. Whilst This One's Wife acts on a regular basis with regard to those around her, it can't be said that she was the best professional actress one has seen. I have glimpsed some excerpts from Suits. I haven't sat down and watched a whole episode. The performances of the other actors and actresses within it seem to be reasonably good, and it seems to have a degree of entertainment value about it, and after all, watching lawyers being ball-boshing bastards is always quite entertaining. Although I must admit, the clips whenever This One's Wife appears on screen shows a certain woodenness about her. Notwithstanding all of this, there is the suggestion that she might return to acting. She, of course, suggested that that would never be the case, but of course, the narcissist conditional asterisk applies, whereby whatever a narcissist tells you in the moment, there is always the opportunity for do a volte-face and about-face, that they can change their mind. That is the nature of the lack of accountability that is associated with a narcissist. For her, of course, circumstances may well dictate that that is necessary. After all, if she determines that she can secure a large fee by returning to acting, having become accustomed to the high life, she will want to get that residual benefit. And therefore, there would be no issue with regard to contradicting herself or going back on what she's already said. Indeed, her narcissism will delete that from her mind, and if anybody were to bring it up, "Oh, you said you were never going to return to acting," she would either deny that she ever said that, or, if that would not be credible, then she would simply explain that circumstances have changed and this was too good an opportunity for her to turn down. Or, "So many people have begged me to return to acting." Yeah, right. But that, with her overinflated ego, is something that her narcissism would tell her. So she would say to the world, "Oh, millions of people have wanted me to return to acting. They missed my performances. They want to see more of me." Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. This all arises as a consequence of information that's reported by Kieran Southern in the Times. This One's Wife 2, Suits' spin-off character, has a familiar feel. The creator of a spin-off of the legal drama Suits appears not to have looked far for inspiration while writing his lead character. Erica, according to a draft script, is an ambitious, well, yes, you can tick that box for This One's Wife, black woman, tenuous now, in her 30s, and a native of Southern California, box ticked, who is determined to climb the ranks at her Los Angeles law firm. While great at closing clients, she struggles elsewhere, but remains smarter than everyone. Well, certainly this one's wife will believe that she's smarter than everyone, but she clearly isn't. She's not that bright at all. Hollywood casting directors hiring for the much-anticipated series could be forgiven for picking up the phone to a certain Duchess who now resides in Monty's shit show. Oh, fuck off. Yes, that's the manifestation siren that you've heard being triggered as a consequence of another blatant attempt by the Duchess of Delusion to say, oh, there's a new programme, I should be in it. Or at very least, talk about me being in it, because I need to be spoken about, because after all, I need to be acknowledged. Seriously, why would any casting director want to involve themselves with a mediocre actress who has now gained a reputation for being stroppy, difficult, and is largely disliked, and who's likely to have significant financial demands that completely outstrip the budget of the relevant production? This is once again another attempt by this one's wife, by pushing out publicity pieces to say to people, let's create some buzz. Let's create some buzz about me returning to acting because there's a spin-off, and let's get it spoken about that could involve me. The fact, of course, of being spoken about provides her with fuel, and, once again, as a consequence of her rampantly deluded mind, she believes that that role has been written for her and that they may well offer it to her. Only Aaron Korsh, the creator of Suits and its as-yet untitled spin-off, knows whether the Duchess of Sussex served as inspiration for Erica, but the similarities are striking. Before she retired from acting after marrying Prince Harry in 2018, this one's wife was best known, well, that's debatable, for starring in the original television drama Suits as the talented at her clothes falling off, paralegal Rachel Zane. According to the Hollywood newsletter Puck, which has seen a draft of a script for the spin-off, Erica is described as 30s, black, SoCal native, and Harvard Law alum. While this one's wife, who grew up in Los Angeles, did not attend the Ivy League university, yeah, and it shows, she did graduate from the prestigious Northwestern University, where she majored in theatre and international studies, although I understand there's some debate as to whether that was actually the case. Although this one's wife, 42, has not acted, open bracket, professionally, close brackets, since marrying Harry, if she could be tempted back into television, she would command a huge fee per episode. She already has prominent supporters calling for her to return to Suits. Who's that then? Oh, look, it's Patrick Adams again. Patrick J. Adams, her former co-star and love interest on the show, who may well have played hide the sausage with her or holds a candle for her, told E! News this month, "I think this one's wife is a fantastic actress. We'd be lucky to have her back in the industry." Adams said he would be interested in appearing alongside this one's wife. "Let's go. I'd do it," he said. Ryan McCormick, co-founder of the New York-based Goldman McCormick PR, said joining the Suits reboot would be a good move for the Duchess following months of negative headlines. Right now, this one's wife and Harry need to have a series of consistent wins, he said. They need to get a win, because if they continue this losing streak, the momentum will be too far against them. Well, I would hasten to suggest, Mr. McCormick, that we've already reached that point. That the inescapable downward spiral is sucking them into obscurity, and it's just a question of time, as Depeche Mode once sang, and it's not a case of her being able to escape that. There is no winning streak on the horizon. He added, "This one's wife should do everything she can to get a prominent role on this TV series. It'll get a lot of good buzz for them if she can do it." McCormick said that were this one's wife, who is represented by the heavyweight Hollywood agency WME, to make a return, she should not necessarily negotiate for the highest fee possible. Instead, she should focus on guarantees that her character does not do anything too racy that would reflect badly on her real-world reputation. Her real-world reputation, Mr. McCormick, stinks. She's seen as a narcissist, a grifter, a liar, a conniving, traitorous individual. And therefore, whatever she does isn't going to cause her to be viewed in a lesser light than which she is viewed already by many people. Not everyone agrees that this one's wife should return to the Suits universe. Kinsey Schofield, an American royal commentator and host of the To Die For daily podcast, said the former actress probably saw such a role as beneath her. "I think it would look like a downgrade from the life she built for herself," Schofield said, adding that this one's wife worked tirelessly to build her career from obscure actress to globally famous stateswoman. Tirelessly by basically getting down on her knees and utilizing men as stepping stones towards that. Yes. It definitely cheapens her brand. Well, again, I'm not sure I agree with that, Kinsey Schofield. I think she's managed to cheapen it very much herself. I agree that she would see such a thing as beneath herself, but remember, if it's the case that she needs that residual benefit, and she hasn't been able to ensnare anybody else, then her narcissism will direct her to undertake that. Remember, the narcissist has no shame, and while she would prefer to have some goop-like industry that she commands, making millions from it, being courted by fashion houses and cosmetic giants, if needs must, and push comes to shove, if it enables her to obtain a large amount of money, ultimately her narcissism may well lead her in that direction. Once again, this appears to me to be speculation generated by this one's wife in order to create a buzz around her, a futile attempt to try and change the perception of her with the possibility of opening up roles, akin to a little while ago suggested that she'd be involved in Bodyguard 2, and we're now going to hear from where that got to. Yes, a howling wilderness, a blasted nothingness, tumbleweed rolling along. This one's wife, returning to acting, possibly, but what we do know in the meantime, she continues to try and make things manifest, reinforcing her deluded mind. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.